Hey yo guys, it's me Thomas, number one fan 2003 here. And as you can see, I'm here with my Thomas and Friends The Great Race Big Golden book that I got for my birthday this year. And yep, my birthday was 3 days ago. So yep, and I've had this book for 3 days, and I never reviewed it for you guys. So yep, let's get started with looking at it. So here's the front cover. There's the Great Race logo, there's some castles, the audience right here. You can see Jan Bao and the Flying Scotsman right there. You can see a little bit of Vinny, which I hate him so much, and Gordon, and then there's Ashima, and Tom Pie, of course. So, yep. And then here's the back. Yep, there's the G for Golden Books, there's the Great Race, and then a big Golden Book, and here's a description about the story. And they don't have like 3 different books that you can get, so right there, because they didn't even decide to do that yet. So, yep, let's get started with looking at this baby. And I didn't write my name on it yet. So here's the first page. Alright. So here are the Flying Scotsman, Thomas, and Gordon. And then there are a bunch of people. And then there are some more people on the other side. So, yep, and Thomas really wants to go to the Great Railway Show after the Flying Scotsman tells him and Gordon, like, how awesome it is. And then, when Thomas decides to tell Sir Topham Hatt that he wants to be streamlined, so, let me just make sure I didn't miss a page. Nope, I don't think I did. Alright. And there's cute little Winston. And here's the railway ferry thing. It's not like the ferry that, like the Tooth Fairy or anything. No, it's just a boat that carries a lot of people, or steam engines, whatever. And yep, there's a Shimi Weemy. Ashima. So, can I tell you why I hate Vinny? He called Thomas a little shrimp. And he was extremely rude to Philip, even though Philip accidentally bumped into Vinny. He shouldn't have been so rude. I hate Vinny so much. I just wanna never mind. Alright. And then Ashima accidentally bumps Thomas and he almost falls into the sea. Which I was so scared at first. Yep. And those workmen are running. And Ashima was like, oh, I better save him. And Thomas is just like, ah. So, yep. And then there's a picture of Thomas and Annie and Clarabelle. It looks so much like the Ride Through Also Thomas book cover. And Thomas is like, why should she get to go to the Great Railway Show? And all that stuff. He's extremely jealous of her. I guess it's because of how nice her designed paintwork is. And yep, Annie and Clarabelle just tell him about, like, what do they tell him again? Well, she is very beautifully painted, they tell him, but, you know, so, just ignore me. And then, there's Gordon being streamlined, and he's almost done. And then there's Thomas, and he gets into, like, I don't know, a little bit of some trouble, because after they start repainting Thomas, well, actually, them right there start repainting Thomas, it actually turns into a bit of a fail because Thomas knocked over the set. So, yep. And then there's Diesel and Dart and Paxton. I think that's Den. yes. Oh yeah, and there's the Vickerstown Diesel Works. So, yes. And Diesel thinks that if he's stronger than Henry, Sir Topham Hatt will take him to the Great Railway Show instead of Henry. And then there's Ashima when she tells Thomas that he can only be himself. So, yep. And then there's Thomas when he gets derailed. That's when that's when poor Thomas gets derailed by Norman. So yep, and Norman is so big, like, oh my gosh. It kind of scares me by how big he is. And yep, and there's Thomas. I wonder if his driver and fireman even jumped on time. If they didn't, then they would be dead. So yep, and there's Diesel. He's like, oh no, you're spoiling my trick. So yep, poor Thomas. And then this is when Thomas has to be repaired and stuff. And then there's Gordon, but he's called the Shooting Star. See? So yep, I love that a lot. Like, I like the name Shooting Star. I don't know why. I wish I could name my child that, but you can never name a kid Shooting Star. That's a stupid name. I'm just kidding. Alright. And then there's Ashima. She's so pretty. I love her designs. And then there's Percy, and he actually has to replace Thomas for the shunting challenge. And then Emily, James, and a little bit of Henry. Oh yeah, and there's Winston. I never noticed him there. Haha. Oh yeah, and there's some express coaches. Sorry. I get so mixed up with my words. And then this awesome picture of Thomas carrying the safety valve, but they should have made a picture of his bridge jump. Yeah, I like how he's sort of holding the safety valve. That's so funny. And then when Thomas tells the Shooting Star, well, he calls him Flying Star by accident, he tells Gordon that he needs the safety valve or else his boiler will explode. And then Gordon is just pumping his pistons to win the race, and at first he's ahead of everyone until his boiler starts to burst and stuff, and he overheats. And why is the Flying Scotsman smiling? He should have been shocked. And he looks like he's staring right at us. And then there's ugly, horrifying Vinny. And then there's Gordon when he's like, oh, and stuff. He looks so funny. And then Thomas is like, oh. So, yep. And then Percy sort of encourages Thomas to do the shunting challenge because he's kind of scared to do it. So, and then Thomas is very, very good, apparently. And then him and Ashima are the last two engines that will win, you know what I mean? Like they got most of their freight cars already. And then, there's something on Ashima's track. And Thomas actually saves her from that. Because he says that it wouldn't have been fair. So, how sweet of Tom Pye. Isn't he just the sweetest little thing ever? And then they give them their trophies. Because, well, Thomas is the actual, well, Ashima wins, but Thomas wins as well for helping his competitor, which is so awesome. And I love that. Even Vinny's happy. He's so mean. I hate him so much. Okay. And then these kids are on the last page. I like how cute that little girl looks and that boy, but that little girl looks so horrifying, like her face. She's like, oh, and stuff. She just looks so weird. So, and that's my review on the Thomas and Friends Great Race Big Golden Book, which I got for my 15th birthday 3 days ago. So, I hope you guys like this book, and tell me what you think of it in the comments down below, and if you have it. So, yep, goodbye everybody, and have a great day, and peace out.